I am from Maryland, and being back has actually reminded me of what my childhood dream was. It was not actually comedy. When I was a kid, my dream was I wanted to be a professional athlete. Anybody here have that same dream? When you were a kid? Yeah. Specifically, I wanted to play professional soccer. That was my sport. I loved it. I was obsessed with it. And I thought I could do it too, until I got to high school where coach didn't like me. I was a 3-year varsity player, sat the bench, never played. Until my senior year, which was in the fall of 2002, here in the state of Maryland. The same time, 2 asshole serial killers known as the DC Snipers were running around killing people with an assault rifle. So coach basically waited till the one point in our state's history when nobody wanted to be in the middle of an open field. That's when he said, "Young, warm up, you're getting in the game." I'm over there stretching. "What position, coach?" "All of them. You're going to be our only guy out there." He hands me a new jersey. I'm like, "Are we sponsored by Target now? What the fuck?" If you wanted to cut me, that just seems excessive, you know? I don't know. High school was a really confusing time for me, because I don't know if you guys found the same thing, but it seemed to be in high school, most of what they try to teach you, what they really try to drill into your head is focused on what not to do. They say, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't have sex, don't bully your classmates. And then you go down the hall to your English class where you read books that glorify all of those things. They're like, they tell you don't drink and don't have sex, and then they're like, now we're gonna read The Great Gatsby. It's a book about a bootlegger who throws wild parties and tries to fuck another dude's wife. They say, don't bully your classmates. I love that one. And then they make you read The Scarlet Letter. In that book, an entire village just slut-shames the shit out of one poor woman. And it was the preacher that knocked her up. How fucked up is that? I'd say spoiler alert, that book's like 200 years old. I don't know. I hate it. It's a Sunday night, but a lot of us are drinking here. I love drinking. I hate it whenever anybody says don't drink. Like, alcohol can ruin your life. Like, no, not knowing how to moderate ruins your life. Alcohol is amazing. I know this because in the history class down the other hall, they taught us that a lot of people did incredible things while being alcoholics. No, seriously, you have Buzz Aldrin, Winston Churchill, Ulysses S. Grant, Edgar Allan Poe, Ernest Hemingway, Charles Dickens, Babe Ruth, and Mickey Mantle, Benjamin Franklin, Pablo Picasso, Ludwig von Beethoven. All of them raging alcoholics. You know who didn't drink? Hitler. We don't have to argue about that anymore. We love drinking in this country too. It's hard to believe that we ever actually had prohibition. I watched a documentary about that recently, actually, and it was creatively titled Prohibition. Actually, it should have been called The Worst Decision Our Country's Ever Made. Actually, no, even slavery's probably the worst decision we've ever made. Prohibition, close second. But the facts in this thing blew me away. I was watching, and they said in the year, 100 years before Prohibition, they said in the year 1830, the average American above the age of 15, not 18, not 21, above the age of 15, drank 80 bottles of whiskey a year. I don't like it when people romanticize the past, when they're like, man, I wish I could have lived back then, but I kind of wish I could have lived back then. My behavior would be socially acceptable. I would have been like a town mayor. It would have been great. I just recently found out, they said tonight, they were like, oh, by the way, you can't take a drink on stage with you. That's like a county law. You can't have a drink on stage. And then it's a good thing I didn't smoke pot before this, because I would have been paranoid, been like, this is a sting operation for last year when I was here. I totally had a glass of Jameson up here. Shit. What I was talking about, though, I think the only thing in high school that they ever tell you that you should do is stay in school, go to college. If I ever have kids, I can't really in any right mind tell them to do that either. I'll explain. My sister, a little while back, my younger sister calls me up and she says, "Hey, great news, I got into grad school." And I said, "No, don't fucking go." She was like, "Why?" Here's the thing. She went to college on a full-ride athletic scholarship. She came out without owing a dime to anybody, and now they're sucking her back in. Colleges are basically like casinos. They just want to keep you playing until they have all your money. Pretty soon you're going to have buildings on college campuses that it's like don't have any clocks or windows. It's going to be hard to find the exits. All I'm saying is I'd feel better about my student loan debt if I had at least gotten free drinks while I was playing. At student loan, like I'm 30 and I'm still like 40 grand in the hole thereabouts for student loans. It sucks because it like stresses you out on a daily basis. Like the other day, I was hanging out at home. I got stoned and was watching a movie. Don't fucking judge me, but I got high. I'm watching the movie Goodfellas. Have you guys ever seen that? Yeah. Great fucking movie. A classic gangster film. But they got to this part in the movie where they explain how like you don't ever want to owe money to the mafia because they don't want excuses. They just say fuck you, pay me. That's their line. Fuck you, pay me. And that's when I started getting paranoid because I realized the company I owe my loans to must be owned by the mafia. the fucking Navient, they call me every day and they don't want excuses. They're like, "Oh, you got laid off? Fuck you, pay me. You had unforeseen medical bills? Fuck you, pay me. You can't find a job because you got a degree in the arts? Fuck you, pay me."